Also coming up on the program today, we've got an overdrive verdict of the latest BMW, the R1300 GS review. We get inside, we take it on the road to understand the engine, the design and the ride quality. Alright, imagine a world where every brilliant idea gets a chance to shine. That's what World Startup Day is all about. It's time to cheer on the amazing people who dare to dream big and turn those dreams into reality. India has become a major player now in its global startup movement.
Right, and we thought we should take a deeper look because since the launch of Startup India as an initiative back in 2016, the country's actually seen more than 1.17 lakh startups. India is the hotbed for startups with thousands of young minds coming up with innovative solutions every single day to real-world problems. And these startups are not just businesses, they're obviously creating jobs, they're driving progress and they're shaping our country's future. And what's exciting is the startups are no longer limited just to big cities. We're seeing it in tier 2, tier 3 cities too.
And that's the big game changer when it comes to the startup revolution here in India. People from all walks of life, whether they're from small towns, big cities, even dropouts, are diving into the entrepreneurial hip. They are driven by dream to make a difference and create something new. So on January 16th, World Startup Day, we celebrate the entrepreneurs, the risk takers, the ones who are turning their passions into business and opportunities and employment. Let's inspire the next generation of innovators and show them that anything is really possible. And to get you inspired this morning, we have two shining examples. With us, first up, let me bring on Tarun Sharma. Tarun is the co-founder and CEO of PEP Brands. It's the parent company for M Caffeine and Hyphen. M Caffeine, if you guys don't know already, is a skincare and beauty brand. It has a gross revenue of over 540 crore. He also is the co-founder for Hyphen, another beauty skincare brand backed by Kirti Sanon, which also has a revenue of about 100 CR. So Tarun, firstly, big congratulations. Quite a leap in a sector which is very crowded, where the customer really is spoiled for choice. So you're making it big there, which is quite a leap. But since we are starting the conversation on World Startup Day, I have to ask you first up your secret sauce. What do you think makes your brands, your stories stand apart from thousands and lakhs of those out there? I think you're on mute. If you can check that, please.
Hi, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Good morning both of you. Thank you so much for inviting me, and it's a lovely show. I've been following it. So kudos to you guys of spearheading the entire narrative around startups, and congratulations to all the startups out there. I saw the data, probably about 1.5–2% of the startups actually make it really big, because there is a lot of mortality rate in startups. But on the secret sauce, I think we are outsiders to this space. We have never been from, cosmetology or beauty personal care, be it manufacturing or be it from the front-end brand building side. We are hardcore engineers. So what we understand is data. So I think one of the secret sauces of PEP as a house is data. We rely a lot on data. But one of the things which early on we realized is that pretty much no one has the answers, right? The founders are taking a leap of faith on the market, right? The only cohort which has the answers is consumers. And, as you said, consumers are spoiled for the choices, right? When we started, there were about 9,000 listed brands on Amazon or let's say Nykaa in our space. Now there are about 71,000 brands.
Wow.
So you can imagine the kind of growth our space has had. In this highly cluttered space or highly competitive space, we need to just figure out that how on a degree of 1 to 10 we are obsessed about consumers. And if we are paranoid about consumers, I think it flows down to your product, marketing, distribution, your supply chain, and that continually doing for multiple decades probably makes remotely a success story.
Tarun, tell us a little bit about how you actually got into forming M Caffeine, the caffeine-based products. Because first you were running salons, you decided, no, we're not going to go with this, we're going to go with caffeine-based products instead. How did you make that switch? And also tell us the role of the different H's. You have this 5H thing that you talk about a lot, you know, hard work, hustle. And you say humor plays a role too. Tell us about that.
It does. Got it. So I think if you look at India, India has always been an ingredient first country, right? So if you go to Nani ke nuske or Dadi ke nuske, there is always an ingredient attached to it, right? Dahi laga lo, right? Do this, shahad laga lo. So there is always an ingredient. And if you look at the brands are built out of neem, brands are built out of almond, brands are built out of coconut. But what we really realized is that the millennials, who is the new consumption audience, right, from, you know, geo revolution after mobile and internet penetration, was pretty much not connecting with these ingredients. So you need an ingredient where the millennials connect with. And if you look at a millennial life, you just observe a millennial life, they run around caffeine. So morning coffee to midnight Red Bull, right? So it is caffeine around them, right? And physiologically, caffeine is one of the most potent ingredients for hair care and skincare. And we happened to chance upon it. I had a sore eye, and in India, everybody is a doctor, right? And then everybody loves to give advices. So my flatmate gave me one that, you know, why don't you put a green tea bag on your sore eye? And when I did it, my eye got normalized. And when we started researching, we realized that caffeine is one of the oldest ingredient propositions. Back in 10th century, there was a book in Persia, Canon of Medicine, in which caffeine literature was given for skincare and hair care. And we realized that there's so much research happened physiologically, people are using it. Nobody's making a brand around it. Because I can't hang out over a glass of haldi drink, right? I have to hang out over a cup of coffee or a chocolate shake. So it's a social connector. And for brand to be built, you need to have a strong physiological input to the product. But at the same time, you need to have a psychological connect of the brand.
Yeah.
And if you have that, you become a slightly more sharper brand in a highly cluttered market. So that's how caffeine happened. And we continue to kind of focus strong on R&D. So all our products are pretty much 4.2 rated across all platforms. And we realize that product love is the only ultimate thing which we can achieve while building this. So that's how caffeine happened. And we were the stupid ones to just build only around caffeine, right? And people, you know, all the smart ones told us that, you know, hedge around, make a broader brand. But we realized that, you know, if you stand for something, you will stand for something, right? And you will continue to stand for it. But if you stand for everything, you don't stand up for anything at all. So that's how we created a niche M Caffeine brand, and it has scaled to a decent level. Coming on the culture, 5Hs, very interesting story, right? Where we believe that founders should be obsessed about 4 C's. One is consumers. You need to be paranoid. Me and my co-founder Vaishali still talks to 500 people. Back in the days, till the time we hit 1 crore packs of production, the number on the pack, the number on the bottle was my personal number. And I used to get calls at midnight. I used to get calls at 4:30 in the morning. And pretty interesting stories, right? Because consumers just realize that if there is a number, there will be someone to pick it up, right? And if you just do that, the amount of confidence you get from the consumer. And that's why we have a very high repeat. We have about 55% revenue comes from our repeat customers. So obsess about consumers, obsess about culture, obsess about competition, and then obsess about capital. We have been trained ulta. Obsess about the fundraising. No, raise it from the consumers. That's the best fundraise you will ever get, right? And the investors will follow. And hence we realize that at a cultural level, we need to kind of put some pillars. So first is hunger. We are very hungry people, right? So all our people needs to be hungry to create something. If a large big beauty brand has created something in 30 years, you need to create it in 10 years. So you need to have disproportionate hunger. But if you are hungry, you need to hustle because nobody has the answers. So you need to work really, really, really hard to get there, right? But if you are hustling, you will make tremendous amount of mistakes because you're doing it for the first time. And if you're making mistakes, you need to be really honest about your mistakes because mistakes can happen, right? I mean, you can make a mistake for once, but don't repeat it. That's smart, right? So if you're hungry, you're hustling, you need to be honest about your mistakes. And all said and done, complacency kills companies faster than competition. So you need to be really humble about where have you reached, because there is always a big brother sitting above you because there's always larger companies, right? So if you are humble, you will almost get there. But if you're not enjoying this journey, what are you doing? So you need to humor yourself out on a day-to-day basis. So we make fun of our mistakes, and we have a very self-deprecating humor, so to say. So hence humor became the last value.
Lovely. Lovely. But Tarun, now that we've understood your journey, the idea behind this program is also to have a lot of people listening to you right now who want to start up in 2025, where the startup market has matured, where consumers have matured, even the capital market has matured. To them,
100%.
do you have sort of tips, so to say, on which sectors do you see sort of making the biggest leap in 2025? If I were to start up today, what should be my core area?
So if you were to start up something today, it comes more from you. What are you passionate about? Because at the end of the day, industry gyan can take you to a formal report. But if you're not passionate about anything, you won't survive for, let's say, 10 years, 20 years. Because building businesses is not app download, right? You can't just pay people 50 rupees cashback and you can get it downloaded, right? It's a seriously stressful journey if it comes to, building it for multiple decades. So you need to be really passionate about it. If you're passionate about 2-3 things, you need to figure out which are the areas where you're scared and excited at the same time. It's like bungee jumping. You need to be slightly uncomfortable while building it, but you need to be extremely excited, right? Well, all these is true. You need to figure out that the economy is moving from, let's say, 3.5 to 4 trillion to 10 trillion over a decade, right? So consumption is going to play the most important part in taking this economy. Manufacturing, consumption, and there are more themes around clean energy, clean tech. But I think if you're passionate about something, this country is going through its best time across the globe. And if you build only in consumption, you will most likely survive multiple decades if you get the fundamentals right. And look at what quick commerce is doing to the consumption space. It's just disrupting it, right? So, but first and foremost, you need to be really passionate about what you're building.
Okay, and can we ask you one very cool decision? I thought it was a very cool decision when we were reading the research about M-Caffeine, is that 70% of your leadership, you hire them as freshers and you keep them with you through the years, which I thought was just such a cool structural decision. Can you tell us a little bit about the thought process there?
What she's trying to say kindly, Tarun, is the fact that the world is saying Gen Zs and millennials don't work.
No, and they love them.
So how are you hiring them and how are you keeping them?
To watch.
I think we have always been believers of, what we want to do is something probably if the world has not done, you would need a lot of energy to build it. Gen Zs and millennials are born in a world where they're born marketeers. They're born salespeople, right? They would know the caption and they would know the angle of photo better than a lot of marketeers sitting in big brands, right? And how to get that engagement, right? Plus, fundamentally, these are the consumers. They are more sensitive about the plastic they use. They are more sensitive about the communication the brands across them are taking. Across all our verticals, we typically see where is the person coming with a lot of baggage. And I'm not saying that, experienced people would not be green or will not have baggage. It's just that the unlearning process unfortunately takes time. So we have always believed that we'll pick up people, train them, mentor them, and they will become our future leadership. That was the leap of faith. Across all my key verticals, people have been with us about 5 to 6 years. And this brand, the house of brands which we have built, is about 6-year-old. So right from day one, there were people who came as an intern and now leading my product strategy. Came as assistant managers and now leading the R&D. Came as data analysts, now leading the growth strategy for a almost $100 million enterprise. So we were like this. We are taking people like that, and that just has become the DNA. While we also have a lot of people who are subject matter experts.
Sure.
We have spent a decade in any vertical.
Sure. Tarun, extremely fascinating chat. I wish I had more time to sort of dedicate to this, but before I let you go, I have to ask you, the world is talking about 90-hour work week. Startups are known, in fact, almost infamous for their hustle culture. What are your thoughts quickly?
Work-life balance is a function of what work means to you and life means to you. If work means
Okay, we've lost him at that key
losing
question.
him right there, but
yes,
but
you just make that balance. Me and my co-founder Vaishali are married, and we have a kid, 9 months, 7 months old now. Am I audible?
Yeah,
now?
you are.
yeah,
you
go
and
ahead,
your
go ahead.
co-founder are
We have some
audible?
pictures actually of the family. We'll pop them up. Yeah.
So me and my co-founder Vaishali are married, and we have a son, 7 months old, Ved. So what work means to us is building. What life means to us is that spending time with him. So we take him to the office. He's our youngest intern in the company. He goes with us. He spends time in the office. There's a room for him. That's what work-life balance or work-life integration means. So I think it's not about the number of hours. It's about cracking that balance, because you can't switch yourself off like a laptop, right? So
Yeah.
number of hours is just a debatable topic. I think you just need to crack that balance.
All right, Tarun, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us, and good luck with everything that you go ahead. Let's now quickly bring on our next guest as well. Joining us now is Aditi Handa. She's the co-founder and head chef for the Baker's Dozen, another really cool startup which has now a revenue of 80 crore. Aditi, somebody who started out by saying, hey, I just have an idea. I want to make good bread. Then she went on to study it, went to France, went to other places and said, okay, let me now study the art of baking. And here we have Baker's Dozen was born. So Aditi, we discussed so many ideas with Tarun earlier, but can I start by asking you the toughest task of being a founder today? Startup day, everybody will say, oh, really cool numbers, this and that, etc. But what has been your biggest fail and what have you learned from it?
I think the toughest part of being a founder is, there's so much sex appeal around being a founder. Everybody thinks it's a really happy journey. It's a really cool journey. It's not like that. It is really not like that. I think being a founder, you have to be a little bit crazy. There has to be some screw in your dimag, which is dheela, which does not go as per, the right brain. You have to be very passionate about what you're doing. You have to be totally in love with it. There should be no rationale why you're doing what you're doing when it comes to this passion. And I think young people need to understand that you will most likely fail more than succeed. And if you're able to accept that, listen, 70% of my life is going to be failure and 30% is going to be success, then you've gotten your mindset right. Once you have that right, there is it automatically changes, right? Now you start succeeding much more than failing. So I feel like, especially in your initial few years, when there are more glitches, when there are more challenges, when you are you probably don't have enough money, you don't have a customer, you're by yourself so much. I think that mindset, it's okay to fail. And it's important to meet people who are also failing, because that's where you also get your strength from.
Yeah.
Aditi, tell us a little bit on how you arrived at bread, because I believe it was actually one of the many sort of ideas you had written up on a whiteboard. And I read somewhere that you chant the Gayatri mantra when you make a particularly difficult kind of bread. So a croissant, for example. Just walk us through the bread story.
So in 2012, Sneh, my husband and I got together saying, let's start a business. We were not really sure which industry. We just knew that we wanted to leave our respective jobs and get into this area of entrepreneurship. What we did was we started meeting a lot of people from different industries and hearing their stories, only to know that what was exciting us and what was not. What is it that we were really liking? What would resonate with us? In one of these meetings, an idea came up that, yaar, India mein achhi bread nahi milti. Honestly, we didn't do any of the fancy management jargon research that happens around it. We just said कि पूरा India bread खाता है, जो bread India में मिलती है, it's this unhygienic, unhealthy thing, and you don't get good bread. That was our market research, TAM, brand philosophy, everything. Now, where we also always felt that whichever business we were going to do, one of the founders needed to be technically sound in it. Now, baking, hospitality is not an industry that is in the background of, say, in my education or in the family, to that matter. So that's when I went to New York and Paris to technically become sound in how to make a good loaf of bread, how to make a good cake. It is during this period I feel that I fell in love with the art of baking bread. So when you say I was chanting the Gayatri mantra, a lot of it is because this wasn't very naturally coming to me. I had to work very hard. Actually, when you're baking, and I'm sure this comes to any form of cooking, if you're really focused on it and if you're really calm, it comes in your product. And that's a philosophy we've taken down across all our bakers. All our bakers don't come from any fancy degrees. We always tell them कि जब तुम बना रहे हो सोचो ये वाली bread तुम अपने परिवार वालों को खिलाने वाले थे. How would you make it?
Yeah.
And that's how you get each loaf coming out of a factory to be handmade and yet perfect and yummy tasting.
Yeah. Aditi, but think about startup is there are two segments really. One is about cracking the right idea. The other ball game altogether is scaling it up. Very different kind of skill sets required for both of them. Today, a lot of startups fail when they're not able to scale, when they're not able to get their brand on point. Your idea of how to sort of take that forward, especially with a perishable product like yours?
So first of all, we've also failed. It's not that we've not. I mean, you see the numbers today and everybody finds the story very exciting. But there has been a lull period, even as the bakers doesn't. I think what's important is for any brand, first get the product right. That's extremely important. Once you've gotten the product right, especially when you're trying to scale up, you will realize same product which worked at a turnover of, let's say, 5 crores annually doesn't work at a turnover of 60 crores annually. There are tweaks you need to make to it. There are times that you need to get the pricing better. There are times you need to get the packaging better. At times, your product is fine, but your brand proposition needs to become crisper with time. One of the things we realized is we started as a pure D2C brand. So we had about 50 stores pan India, and we were retailing out of these stores. And post COVID, we saw that customers don't want to walk into a store. They want these things delivered at home. And I think it took us about a year to make this transition from going from 50 stores now to 2,000 touch points, but through more of an omni-channel approach. So at times if your numbers are not increasing, when you're talking to your consumers, you can see that some of them may be falling off because you're just not as easily available. You have to be humble enough and say, listen, there's something wrong I'm doing. I don't know what, but there's something clearly wrong. And you go back to the consumer. Consumers are amazing. I mean, the amount of time and effort a consumer is willing to put in a brand and to help them, it's unimaginable.
Aditi, what incredible insight.
And whatever the consumer says, even if it doesn't resonate with you in that moment, listen to what they have to say. Because there is some magic mantra in there.
So take the consumer's word as the golden word. Aditi,
from both of them.
Yeah, that was actually really, really key. Thank you for providing us with this insight. We've just got some breaking news coming in. We do need to switch focus. So let's move very quickly to that. We're learning right now that the actor Saif Ali Khan has been attacked by a knife. He's been taken into hospital, and we have reporters joining us right now to provide us with updates on this entire story. As we speak, they are using CCTV footage to ascertain who the perpetrators could possibly be. We have reporters joining us live on the story right now. Vishal Chatkara and Vivek Gupta are both with us on the phone. We'll go over to both of them to connect in just a second. We'd just like to remind you, though, that information is incredibly scarce right now, so we will be providing you with context on this story as we receive more news. We do know that the actor was, as we've said already, attacked by a knife. There is footage of it. We also know he's been taken to hospital as we speak. All of this took place Thursday morning itself. So we're just going to be providing you with more details. As we speak, there is no footage. Officials are looking at CCTV footage that is available right now. We do not know the motive. We do not know more details about how this took place, how many perpetrators there were, if there was one perpetrator or more, what was used in the attack. We do know it was a knife attack, it seems. Those are the initial details we have about the actor being attacked. We don't have more details on whether or not he's in a stable condition. Vishal Chatkara joins us right now. The visuals you're seeing on your screens are of the Lilavati Hospital. Vishal, the most important question first, what is the condition of Saif Ali Khan right now? What details do we have on him?
Hello.
Hi Vishal, are you able to hear us?
Hello.
Vishal, are you able to hear us?
Yes.
Vishal, can you give us more details about Saif Ali Khan's condition as we speak? We're sharing visuals of Lilavati Hospital on the screen right now with our audiences.
Madam, wrong number.
All right, we'll reconnect. Our reporter Vishal Chatkara is going to be joining us when we are able to establish that connection. Vivek Gupta, Vishal Chatkara, both expected to join us with more details. Right now, as we said earlier, details are incredibly scant. Information is incredibly scant. Saif Ali Khan, as we said earlier, injured. This is in a scuffle. We are receiving more details right now. We told you earlier we didn't have details on how this incident took place. Initial information that is coming in is indicating that he was stabbed several times by a perpetrator who entered into his his house. Again, the Mumbai Police Crime Branch is saying that they've arrived at Saif Ali Khan's house for a probe. The other information we're getting is that this was possibly a thief entering into the house. Saif Ali Khan was attacked in the ensuing scuffle. But we will wait for our reporters to join us with more details on this story. As we said a little earlier, information is coming in as we speak. This is breaking news. We do want to confirm each detail before we put it out there. Actor Saif Ali Khan, we're learning, was injured in a scuffle when we're learning that robbers tried to enter into the house. Now, Vishal Chatkara joins us with more details. Vishal, over to you. Do tell us first, what is Saif Ali Khan's condition?
See, right now what we know is he's admitted to Mumbai Lilavati Hospital. But what we are gathering right now is that there was an attempt of robbery that took place at his house here in Bandra, and the actor is admitted at Lilavati Hospital. There was also said to be there were family members. The robbery attempt took place around 3 in the middle of the night. We are yet to hear from official sources from Saif Ali Khan's publicists or his family members, but reports are saying that the robbery happened around 2:30 a.m. and the intruder entered the house and fled after the occupants woke up. Saif is injured and admitted at Lilavati Hospital. Also saying it doesn't look very serious. It's not clear although, but we are still waiting for the official statement from the family members.
But that's reassuring, Vishal. Thank you for bringing us that. Vishal, also tell us, do we have any details on how many perpetrators they were, what time this took place? You said in the night. Do we have more details there?
No, we're still waiting to hear. It's a new house which Saif was shifted a couple of years ago. It's called Sadguru Sharan. It's a spacious 3-bedroom house. With a swimming pool and balconies and their kids, and we keep seeing Temur and Jay videos coming. It's a developing story. We're still waiting more from family to hear, but right now this is what we know. He is being treated at Lilavati Hospital, and we'll be updating with more details very soon.
Okay, Vishal, I just want to repeat for our audiences the details that we do know. We'll come back to you to understand more, but let's just share with our audiences the breaking news once again. Saif Ali Khan, the actor, was injured in a scuffle with a thief who entered his home. He has been, as we speak, admitted into the Lilavati hospital that you're looking at on your screens. Now, the initial details we're receiving from Vishal Chatkara, our reporter on the ground. Key details. A, he was stabbed several times, but as we speak, his injuries are not too severe. His condition is reportedly stable. Currently, the Mumbai Police and the Crime Branch team are at Saif Ali Khan's house. They are searching using CCTV footage as we speak. Vishal, we just want to ask you this. We are sharing with our audiences CCTV footage being retrieved from the residents, the areas around, as the initial investigation takes place. Just bring us more details there. Also tell us, Saif Ali Khan's family, Kareena Kapoor, the kids, etc. Do we know if they're at the family, if the police is
right now
them?
we don't know. We're still waiting for here. I'm just trying to reach out to the publicists and the members of Saif Ali Khan's family, especially Kareena. But what we know, this happened early on Thursday morning. It's a developing story. Police is also tight-lipped right now. They're not saying anything right now. So we're just waiting because this happened in the wee hours of the morning, and he is right now at Lilavati Hospital. He's being treated. And somebody is very accessible. We know him, and we often see the videos of him walking on the road or the kids playing. So there's a serious issue of the star security that comes here.
Can we just ask you, Vishal, just bring us a little context here. We know many celebrities live in bungalows that are a little isolated. In this case, was Khan living in an apartment building? Do we have any idea of how the perpetrators possibly entered from the outside?
Well, it's a new house. He just bought a couple of years ago. So, and not all celebs today live in bungalows. Most of them live in high rises, and so it's safe. He lives in Bandra. There are many other celebrities live in Bandra, including Shah Rukh Khan, Salman Khan, Saif Ali Khan, Kareena Kapoor, John Abraham. So many people live now in the high rises, and this is the first time it happened. It never happened with anybody at least in the recent past. So this is very shocking. The robbery attempt happened around 2:30 a.m. in the morning, and intruder entered the house and fled after occupants woke up. That's what we right now know. Saif is of course injured and admitted to Lilavati Hospital, and sources are saying that it doesn't look serious. Although nothing is clear right now. If he stabbed several times or once, So we are waiting for these details to come up, and we're just waiting now. I'm just trying to reach out to more people to give us more info about it. He shifted to this new uber luxurious house in a building called Sadhguru Sharan in Bandra.
All right, Vishal Chatkara, thank you so much for joining us with those latest details. If for viewers just tuning in, the breaking news coming in at this morning is that in the early hours of the 16th of January, Saif Ali Khan was attacked by a knife. We are told at this point it was allegedly an intruder, which could allegedly have been somebody who was a robber as well. Statement has just come in from Mumbai police. Let me just read that out for you. It says an unidentified person or intruder in the residence of actor Saif Ali Khan. The actor and the intruder had a scuffle. The actor is injured and is being treated. The investigation is going on. Preeti Sonpura joins us for more details. Preeti, the first statement, a short one coming in from Mumbai police. They say there was a scuffle, they say there was an intruder and the actor is being treated. First and foremost, is there any further information on the health of Saif Ali Khan?
The incident took place at around 2:30 a.m. early morning when the maid who was working with the Kareena Kapoor and Saif Ali Khan since last 10 years, she spotted one of the unidentified person at the home and she started shouting. After she shouted, the Saif Ali Khan came out from his bedroom, and when he showed that some unknown person is there, entered into his house, he started he told him to go out of this house. But during that time, the thief has already started attacking the Saif Ali Khan. In this case, after this scuffle, now the Saif Ali Khan is admitted in the Lilavati hospital and he is out of danger. Few minutes ago, Mumbai police already released a statement and clearly said that one of the unidentified person entered into the Saif Ali Khan house. Now the big question is about the security lapse. How the person entered into the such a security high zone area where Saif Ali Khan is staying in the Bandra area, and it's like so many film stars and celebrities are staying in this area. So now the big question is about what the private security guard who was deployed at Saif Ali Khan's building, what they were doing. So now we can know that police have already registered a case, but the information which we're getting from the Mumbai police is that the thief who has attacked the Saif Ali Khan is still absconding.
Okay, Preeti, thank you for bringing us those details. Preeti Sompura, Vishal Chatkara, all joining us from the ground to continue to bring us details on this breaking news. We are, of course, praying for Saif Ali Khan's speedy recovery. We're going to head into a quick break on the other side.
We'll come back with more news on the other side.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
But over the past several weeks, our intensive efforts have brought us to the brink of full and final agreement. On Sunday, the United States, Qatar, and Egypt put forward a final proposal. The ball is now in Hamas's court. If Hamas accepts, the deal is ready to be concluded and implemented. I believe we will get a ceasefire.
Hell will break out. If those hostages aren't back, I don't want to hurt your negotiation. If they're not back by the time I get into office, all hell will break out in the Middle East. And it will not be good for Hamas, and it will not be good, frankly, for anyone. All hell will break out. I don't have to say anymore, but that's what it is.
Welcome back to the Breakfast Club. We're returning now to our regular programming and we're taking you to our person of interest. India's race to become a global semiconductor hub is heating up and it's leading right in the front. Leading the charge is Polymatech. It's a homegrown pioneer in opto-semiconductors. As India sets its sights on dominating the global semiconductor landscape, we uncover the hurdles, the opportunities and the role this company plays in this journey.
So today we speak with Ishwara Rao Nandam, the man driving the innovation. Let's welcome him on the program now. Hi, good morning, sir. Thank you so much for joining us this morning on the Breakfast Club. Now, you know, when we talk about semiconductors, India aims to be a semiconductor hub. What, according to you, are the three biggest hurdles you see coming that way, and what and how can we really overcome them?
Yes, India's this ambition to become global semiconductor hub is a very bold and critical move. The major challenge and the advantage what we have is the current government. The current administration is supporting this industry like anything. So, but we have a couple of hurdles. And I will tell the hurdles and the solutions both. The first one is we do not have the major infrastructure. The infrastructure is it is if you know semiconductor industry needs quality power supply. Means once the ingot the ingot is grown, it needs uninterrupted power supply. Even 1 volt should not vary and the frequency should not vary. So this type of infrastructure, power, then different gases, these are all the main requirements. And also the we need to bring some foreign direct investments. Very majors we have to bring into India so that the ecosystem can be developed. So, you know, the top people in the world, that can be PPP model or however, they have to come to India and then that definitely will enhance the ecosystem in India. The current system, whatever we have, we can develop more than 10 nm. Below 10 nm, if you want to go, definitely these people have to come, and we have to have some collaboration with these companies. And the thing is, we need to have government has to also think, maybe this is the right time. I think we are having a discussion.
Yeah.
Government should think of giving some tax breaks.
Yeah.
What are the critical building blocks that India needs to attract leading edge semiconductor manufacturing?
You can see it is one is advanced infrastructure is also required. First, I have told you the normal infrastructure like electricity and the gases. Not only that, we also have some advanced infrastructure like clean rooms for wafer fabrication. We need clean rooms. These clean room infrastructure is not available in India. So Polymatech is actually trying to bring in this technology, and definitely we will be taking some major role into this. That is one. Then supply chain infrastructure is the manufacturing of this is mostly rely on the supply chain, the raw material, the equipment, finished products, etc. So robust logistics infrastructure is also required for this. Then the third one, what I can say is energy and water supply. Electricity, I have already told. Water supply, clean water is also needed. So water treatment plants, whatever we have, we have to bring in the water treatment companies from Europe, so that the clean water can be given. The second point, what I have told you, is a favorable policy, and incentives are already declared, but favorable policy has to be there.
Yeah.
Means it is like there are some challenges, like though it is we are all talking about ease of doing business, there should be speed of doing business also has to be there.
All right, good points there, and we really hope that we're not very far away from the budget days. So we hope the finance minister is listening in to you. But talking about the industry, sir, how are you attracting or even retaining top talent in engineering, which seems to be something that the entire sector is sort of suffering from?
See, we though it is a different. We are different from the other organizations, you feel, and people who are all listening that may feel. We never ever take any person who has experience. We take fresh boys and girls from the engineering college, and I personally believe that their imaginary things will be better than any person. So without any baggage, we take the fresh graduates, and what we wanted to do only we will say, we will tell about our products. And the way the new engineers, the new graduates give us the suggestions, our product cost will come down, product quality will improve, and the output also will increase. So this is what we have put into the culture of the Polymatech. I have learned this from one of the biggest Japanese company, that the new and fresh engineers only will develop the company. So in my company, in the Polymatech, I am only the oldest person. All are young people. So when and ultimately you get respect when you are older, right? So the people, the boys and girls, as and when every year they grow themselves. Then by working in the company, they grow themselves. We are creating the career paths, and now we have expanded in US, we have expanded in France, we have expanded in Singapore, we are expanding in Chhattisgarh. So these new boys, fresh graduates, they go across the globe, and that is their that they learn from there, and they bring it. So their retention policy is inculcated in our culture by default.
Great.
Hire freshers seems to be a big theme today. Tell us, what are the three most critical areas where India can become a global leader in the semiconductor value chain?
Yes. There are three. I will tell you all three one by one. One is the semiconductor fabrication and advanced manufacturing. Here I will pause with the regular question, and I will give you one. What is the semiconductor industry? Semiconductor industry is basically, it has 4 verticals within this industry. Number 1 is growing ingot, means where you manufacture silicon or silicon carbide or sapphire or the diamond. The ingot will be grown like this, and it takes 28 days normally. So this is one vertical. Once the ingot is grown, then it will be cut into pieces, and then it will be ground and polished. It is called wafer. That is the second vertical. Third vertical is making the wafer and building the semiconductor on it. So the substrate is made, and after that he will build the semiconductors. After the semiconductors, once they are built, then it will be made into small pieces. And actually the semiconductor chip, if you know, it is 100 microns by 100 microns.
Yeah.
So if you cannot hold it, so it is like, I will say, like life of a human being. So you cannot see it. You can only feel it. So it has to be given a body. The body, that is called packaging. Okay, so that is advanced. There are many packaging varieties. So making that packaging is the 4th vertical, and after packaging, it will be you can hold it. Means the machine can hold it. That time it will be populated on a printed board circuit. So we have a presence in everywhere.
All right, so end-to-end presence, that should come handy in for you, and thank you for that tutorial there. But beyond manufacturing, talking about jobs there, how do you think the growth of the semiconductor industry will translate into some of high-skilled, high-paying jobs across sectors, say AI, Internet of Things, healthcare even?
There are many jobs will come up, like R&D, as I have told you, and India is lacking into this. We are very experts in software and software related activities. With that background, so if we can have AI chip designs, there are design engineers, and the government of India with some advanced institutions in France and Japan and Taiwan, if they collaborate, so we can develop the AI chip designers, data scientists, machine learning engineers, and there are many things. Once these are all come, I think there will be more than 10 million jobs a government can create in this sector by IoT semiconductor engineers, embedded system engineers. So we already have this type of what we can say ecosystem here in India, especially in Pune, Gurgaon, and Bangalore, Hyderabad, you know, all these places, in Chennai. So not only this, I do not know whether you are aware of this or not, optoelectronics or semiconductors also may play a very major role in healthcare.
Yes.
We also develop a lot of biomedical products and like vein finders, which will be used by the doctors in the surgery, etc. So we can bring many biomedical engineers, and there will be healthcare technology specialists, and there will be a lot of R&D in medical devices and AI powered diagnostics, for this one. And when the clinical data analysis is done, there the analyst itself is a big chunk of jobs we can create. And in automotives also, EVs, autonomous vehicles, there are multiple jobs we can create with this AI and IoT when it is coming. Actually, I am telling you a different angle. All other people are worrying AI and IoT will
take
come
away
and
jobs.
jobs are growing, but they will be creating multiple millions of jobs.
All right, Mr. Nandam, thank you for sharing those details with us. Okay, with that, we are going to be drawing our show to a close. A lot of innovation discussed right here. That's all that we have for you here on the Breakfast Club. For now, goodbye.
But over the past several weeks, our intensive efforts have brought us to the brink of full and final agreement. On Sunday, the United States, Qatar and Egypt put forward a final proposal. The ball is now in Hamas's court. If Hamas accepts, the deal is ready to be concluded and implemented. I believe we will get a ceasefire.
All hell will break out. If those hostages aren't back, I don't want to hurt your negotiation. If they're not back by the time I get into office, all hell will break out in the Middle East. And it will not be good for Hamas, and it will not be good, frankly, for anyone. All hell will break out. I don't have to say anymore, but that's what it is.
Hello and good morning. Thank you for tuning in to CNN News 18. I'm Shena Elizabeth Matthew. Let's begin this bulletin with the top news coming in from Mumbai at this point. Now, actor Saif Ali Khan has been injured in a knife attack by an intruder at his Mumbai home. Now, the actor has been admitted to Leelavati Hospital. The actor's team has issued a statement confirming an attempted burglary at his residence. Now, he's currently undergoing surgery in the hospital. Mumbai police in a statement said that the investigation is underway. I'm in fact joined by CNN News 18's Vishal. Vishal, take us through the statement that is coming in from Saif Ali Khan's team at this point.
Well, right now, what we've been told by his team is that right now the surgery is underway, it's going on, so they are yet to get back with more details very soon. But right now, he is being operated at Mumbai's Leelavati Hospital. That's what we've been told. And what we also can confirm that Kareena and kids are safe. It's only this incident broke out last night at 2:30 a.m. on Thursday early morning when the actor was sleeping in his house along with other family members. And Saif's